Hello, y'all know what's up. Welcome to, welcome to Joyous MiniShip tournament number 2.5. We are using MGW's balance mod. This will be all new. He has tried to keep all the p-values the same, but he has not succeeded, but we shall see how it goes. Like, instead of very specific rules to each faction, we will have the balance mod. Hopefully it will work. And we also are using factories in this tournament, and we're using Alexander Witt's tournament mod, which makes factories much more effective because the AI actually knows how to use them. So let's get right into the competitors. We have LBF with Turret, Bryce with Plasma Rangers, Jimmy Jam with weird nano composite crystallines, Lyle of Zero Filament, Skill with generic red squares, me with Farmer MGW2, the InfamousYenyu with Wolfbird SI Gen 2, Drills with Hammer Time, ImperiX with Laser Brain, and the creator himself, MGW, with Lizard Gamers twice. And without further ado, let's get into the tournament. So first off, we've got Turret by LBF. This is a factory fleet, Sentinel. It has this factory with 2 main guns and a Gauss beam, and this factory, kind of the opposite shape, with only what is this, bolts, plasma bolts or something, and missiles. He is using the Sentinel Flurry missiles. They are not set to point defense, interestingly enough. And then he also has a bunch of kiters based on these flurry missiles, and a Gauss beam ship. Gauss beams in this mod are very expensive because they are quite powerful in vanilla for being only like 50p or something. Here they are 200p. On the other side, we got Plasma Rangers. Very meta design for Terran. Lots of armor, pretty good amount of thrust, and plasma cannon. Skill, looks like skill 2. He does have containers, but no factory, which is interesting. Not sure what's up with that, but we'll see. All of his ships are the same, so they will follow pretty much the same decision making. This would cause the AI to clump the ships together, make them fly around hunting down ships one by one. It's very cool to see. Over here, LBF's strategy will be his tanks go in front, make copies of themselves or other kiters, tank for a while the support ships shoot missiles and shoot stuff. LBF, I believe it is his first tournament. He may have done Consortium Fleet trials by Feathers, but I'm not sure. Plasma Rangers, I think Bryce is also his first tournament, so we'll see how they go. Good luck to both of y'all. Right off the bat, LBF's Plasma Kiters go in, kind of distract a bit, dodge a bit. You can see some factories making some ships. It does seem like Bryce has advantage. He has a lot more armor on his tanks than LBF does. Maybe LBF just has, oh wow, just too many points invested in missiles. It is true that Sentinel missiles are not the greatest thing for attack. They don't do a lot of damage per second. There's a lot of them, so they're great for point defense. But for damage dealing, they are usually not the greatest. Here we see Bryce's Plasma Rangers kind of clumping together, concentrating the damage per second on the 2 tanks, and dispatching them very easily, unfortunately for LBF. And now they are just hunting down the remaining stragglers. They are quite maneuverable. LBF is slowly being whittled down to 1 ship. Now this ship does have the Gauss beams. The Gauss beams are quite powerful, but without enough armor, he just gets bodied. Unfortunate for LBF, but let's see if he can redeem himself. Next up, we've got Jimmy Jam. This is his second tournament. He really likes like funky, gimmicky stuff. Maybe a little too much sometimes, but today he's gone with a normal crystalline fleet, lots of armor, scale, looks like, I would say scale 3 plasma condensers, very powerful, lots of range, shoot very fast, very dangerous. Pretty much no one can beat crystalline in brawling. He is also using some kiters, lots of armor as well, these antimatter missiles from the crystalline, lots of range, lots of damage. They're just all around good missiles, right? He is also using some space armor to help against splash, and I don't like the look of space armor, and I don't really use it unless I have to, but it is very effective, I will say that. We'll see how it goes against LBF. LBF's tanks are around 2 to 3 times smaller than Jammy's brawlers, so they might have trouble kind of keeping them back away from the kiters. I'm not sure how it'll go for him. Already you can see these plasma condensers ripping through the small amount of central armor that LBF has. He does have one tank left, but it is not looking good for LBF already. He is at a fifth of his fleet. Crystallines are very slow, so if LBF can just stay out of range, shoot missiles for a while, hopefully he can take back enough points. But I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. He's down to 1 chip. And the crystalline are closing in. And stuck against rock. And he's trying to escape. He's surrounded on all sides. But he does manage to make it. He does escape. You can do it, man. You can do it. We believe. Small ships are very entertaining to watch. They dodge. They go right in between like missiles and bullets. Sometimes. Not this time. He won't win. Couldn't get it, but LBF has spawned another cannon ship. Hopefully 2 of them together will tank a little bit more for the missiles, get through that tough crystalline armor. But you can just see how tanky this crystalline armor is. It's taking lots of hits with missiles. It doesn't care. Jammy's crystalline, just too much armor. I think if LBF had invested a little bit less in missiles, a little bit more in some armor, it would be a much closer fight. And Jammy wins that. Next up, we got Lyle. He's another tournament veteran. One day he just spontaneously manifested in the Discord server and started beating everyone in tournaments, in both like actually killing ships and making awesome looking ships as well. Like, look at this ship, it's beautiful. He has 2 different ships here. He's got this triple Terran mortar ship, and then he's got a double one with a shield and a factory. So this fleet will spawn copies of itself, and generally very dangerous. So mortars in MGW's mod are significantly stronger for one main reason. In vanilla, the mortars would charge up, shoot, and the AI would not understand that you need to charge up like all the way for a good effect. So the ship would go in, it would shoot a huge blast, and then just like pee on the enemy and like do 0 damage. But here, the mortars are forced to charge up to 100%, so they will shoot a sucker punch every single time. They do 100 damage, have 100 splash radius. They do a lot of damage, have a lot of splash. It is not looking good for LBF. I'm not sure he has enough armor to even like cover his core from the splash. It might just like hit his core immediately. Fortunately for LBF, Sentinel cores have a lot of health, like near 1,000 I think. So he should be fine for a few hits. Unfortunately for him, his thrusters will not be fine. So 1 hit it could just cripple the entire ship. Not only that, but Lyolf ships are again 2 to 3 times bigger, maybe 4 times bigger. they have a lot more armor. It's going to be very tough to get through that with only the Sentinel missiles. But we'll see how LBF does. So first off, you got his faster ship going in, distracting. But you can see just immediately the ship is gone by these enormous plasma mortar explosions. It's going to be very tough to survive after one hit. So as you can see, like pretty much the entire ship except for the core and whatever was not in the splash destroyed. Fortunately, Lyle does not have too much point defense at all, so he can't defend against most of these missiles. All LBF needs to do is just stay far away enough from the slow moving mortar shots that he won't get hit. And he could take this. Unfortunately, Lyolf is using the resources dropped by LBF's dead ships to make more ships. So, not the greatest position for LBF to be in. It's kind of a, once it goes downhill, it's going downhill. LBF down to 2 ships. One got spiked. The other is his Gauss ship, with which we have seen survive till the end before. Seems to be a very well behaved ship. Doesn't die very easily. Quite quick. So as you can see, he's getting surrounded. Plasma mortars. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. Now, if these little distractors can just distract for long enough without getting hit, that's pretty valuable. And as you can see, it seems like LBF ships have learned their lesson. They're not getting close to those mortars, and they really shouldn't. You see one of the factories has spawned a MiniShip. Or a child. I don't know. They're all MiniShips. LBF's missile kiter doing his best. Can't seem to get through those shields. Is being surrounded slowly but surely. He's getting flanked. The first hit took out the thrusters, and the rest is history. Again, LBF's Gauss ship, quite a good ship, surviving very well. Was surviving very well, but Lyle takes that match. Next up we have Skill. Skill has brought B, and the thing about MGW's mod is he has made shorter range weapons have a lot more HP, since they can't be covered by armor, so they take more damage. So he has made them kind of tanky. I would say maybe a little too tanky, because we've got a Red Tempest problem, where the ship's armor is made out of guns. These B point defense guns have a lot of health. They have been made extremely efficient by MGW's mod. Very dangerous, lots of damage per second in this little brick. He does also have B drones. MGW changed it so B drones will not like instantly die upon impact, and they actually kill things terrifyingly well. Fortunately for LBF, Skill ships do not have any maneuverability. All you need to do is just stay away from them, and you won't get shredded by the point defense. Unfortunately, LBF does not have any point defense either. So the drones can just kind of slowly eat their way through the armor. And that is generally not a good thing if you are a ship. So LBF seems to be keeping his distance pretty well. The Annihilators on his larger ships doing work against these bricks. Already, they've almost got one. You can see how much firepower is coming off of these. Like, you do not want to get close to that. It does seem like the red drone or the B drones are building up critical mass. Once they reach that, nothing is going to be able to stop them. And you can see they're just terrifying. And look at that. The point defense ripped right through LBF's under armored ships. Eaten alive. So yeah, you can definitely see the improvements to the B drones. They are a lot less useless now, and they can even take down Sentinel apparently. Maybe a little bit too strong. I'm not sure. It does seem like B point defense is actually useless for point defense. It's not shooting down any of these missiles. It is destroying the owners of the missiles, but not the missiles themselves. Like, look at this. Nothing's happening. Why even use point defense for point defense? Funnily enough, opposite is the case for the Sentinel flare missiles. They're useless as main weapons, perfect for point defense. They just fill the air with a cloud that you cannot avoid being hit, and if missiles hit those missiles, they instantly explode. Drones as well, but wasn't enough missiles for those drones. Skill takes that. Next up, we got my fleet. Pretty simple. Factory tank with minimal weapons, and then farmer missiles. Farmer missiles, very powerful. They have a very large splash radius. So against these Sentinel, they will be able to reach the core without bypassing the armor and stuff. But yeah, we'll see how LBF does. We do have the same amount of tanks, and they both spawn factories. So it will be 2 tanks supported by missile kiters. But already, LBF has lost one of them, probably due to the farmer missiles. And we did see a Gauss shot, which is completely annihilated that ship. But there are still 3 tanks to take care of. The farmer missiles are building up, and these Sentinels just don't have enough point defense to take care of it. And it looks like LBF has one more chance. All he needs to do is basically in position, try to get behind my tanks, take out the kiters. Gauss beams are incredibly dangerous against kiters, especially under armored ones such as mine. But it does look like his Gauss beam ship is just kind of hanging back. Two ships left. Not looking good for LBF's turret. This is LBF's. You can see another child being made. In my testing, I did see this weird thing looking in the sandbox. It was showing the children that would be spawned from a specific factory ship. I could not replicate it, but that that could lead to some interesting strategies in the future. We could spawn a ship that's like not even in your fleet from a factory, similar to how multi-core works. I'm not sure how to replicate it, but it does exist. Alright, next up we've got the InfamousYenyu. He is an NMSS veteran. He's been around a while. He makes beautiful ships. He makes very effective reds. Wolfbird SI Gen 2 is pretty much a copy of his submission to the previous tournament, except it is not stacked. And red lasers are like obscene in this balance model. They like actually terrifying. Unfortunately for Yenyu, Sentinel have very good splash. Red do not like splash. They have very small blocks, very small HP. Pretty much one hit will just take them out. Yenyu is using these turret thrusters, or I don't know what they're called, rotator thrusters, so he is very maneuverable. He might be able to dodge the slower shots of the Sentinel, but I'm not sure he'll be able to dodge all of them. He's going to take significant losses before he can do some damage. But we'll see how it goes. Immediately, you see like reds being splatted left and right. Yenyu has lost 2 ships already, surrounded by missiles. That one gets taken down as well. Yenyu, 4 ships left. Can he dodge the missiles and get in close enough to use his lasers? Right now, the phasers are his main weapon, and it does look like they work. But if he's just going to surf the wave of missiles, he's not going to be able to use his lasers. Who's this other ship? Alright, Yenyu's down to 1 ship. Just armed with a single phaser. This is a large horde spawned by the factories, by LBF. As you can see, going a very similar way. Red are being annihilated by the splash, but they are very agile. They're dodging most of the shots, and you can see that that laser just like ripped through this ship right here, and that ship down there too. This is going very differently this time. Yenyu ships are being more aggressive, using the lasers more. Look at that. Wowzers. While he is doing better this time, Yenyu still on the end of the rope. 2 ships remaining. It's going to be very tricky. He's got 1 minute left to somehow take out LBF. You can see the ship surfing the wave of missiles, but he's trapped against the wall. He's going to be taking a lot of hits. The red phasers do seem to be a lot more accurate than the plasma bolts on Sentinel. They're hitting a lot more often. So this Goth Beam ship just zapped him. 1 hit is gone. Ten seconds left on the clock. Yenyu down by 600 points. Stuck in a rock. And LBF takes the match. Congratulations on his first win. Next up we got Drills. He's another NMSS veteran. He knows what he's doing. He's a creator of the iconic Ziggurat. These ships, Hammer Time, are pretty much the same submission submitted to the very first Joyous MiniShip submission or tournament. What was it? Yeah, he has 1 change. One of his ships is now torpedo tighter, but the rest of his ships are skirmishers. They go in, they take damage, their missiles activate, and they run away, letting the next ship to cycle in. They are pretty much exactly the same thrust arrangement, so they act very similarly. Pretty much similar to Plasma Rangers by Rice. They will kind of stay together, hunt down enemy ships one by one. And we'll see how they do against LBF's turret. Hammer time by drills. Now, Terran missiles are a lot more effective than Sentinel missiles. And Sentinel missiles are going to have a lot of trouble against Terran shields. Missiles and Splash in general are just not great against shields. LBF's hope in destroying the shields lie in his Gauss ships. This one right here. And the other one. I don't know where it went. Maybe it's that over there. But LBF is already down 3 ships. Drill's ships. Still intact. And slowly but surely they're just taking down LBF. It does seem like Drills has an energy issue. He cannot keep up his shields, fire his missiles, and all his weapons at the same time. As you can see here, he's not shooting at all. He's out of energy. It's very interesting. But at the moment, Drills with a 1100 point lead, 30 seconds on the clock. Not looking good for LBF. LBF's down to 1 ship with 10 seconds left. He's going to need to kill a lot of ships to win this. Hammer time by Drills wins round 1. Alright, where's his Gauss ship? Right there. Okay. Here's another Gauss ship. It's going to do a lot of damage with those shields. But not enough to take it down all the way. One minute remaining. Drills has roughly twice the points as LBF. I suspect this battle will go similarly to the last one. LBF just doesn't have enough burst damage to take down the shields. This energy problem is a problem for Drills though. If LBF can just keep pressure on the shields, the weapons will not fire. Hammer time by Drills wins this battle. Next up, we have ImperiX. ImperiX is another long-time NMSS veteran. He really likes mini-maxing. He has made plenty of circle ships like these that have clapped ass. Like, these are very effective ships. I've certainly lost my share of ships like these. Terran containers are very great armor, very splash resistance, lots of health. In this mod though, they are nerfed just a little bit. I don't remember how, but they do have less either health or more weight or something. They are less effective. So we'll see how these squares or circles work. The thing about these circles is they're like skirting the edge of the requirements on the rules. All right, they're like within 1 or 2 points of like the maximum radius. It is really using up all the stuff that just pushing the limits of rules. They are armed with only proton beams or proton swords, very short ranged. Pretty much requires enemy ships to be sitting on the edge of the shell. So these brains will attempt to go in and just slaughter them. If LBF with his missiles and longer range weapons will just stay out of the way, I think he'll do perfectly fine. Oops. That's not good. Alright, that's my bad. Sorry. If you pause, like, immediately after the match starts, asteroids can do weird shit. Ships can do weird stuff. I don't know, something with the physics of the arena expanding while the ships are still spawning in or something. But as we can see here, these swords are very effective. LBF is down to 1 ship. Thankfully, it is kiting very well. If it can just keep shooting like this, it will eventually get to the core of these brains. But these brains do seem very fast. They do seem to have a moderate AI problem, where if a ship is directly behind them, they just don't know how to move. Example right here. It is just not doing anything. But it does seem like they are not. They're just skirting the edge of their maximum range and not being able to hit them. This is 30 seconds left on the clock. Down to 1 ship. It is interesting. 500p. That means that this ship has not been damaged at all. This is a fantastic ship. That is a good ship if it has not taken any damage. But these brains slowly ambling in the general direction of LBF. LBF is stuck on an asteroid. The sword goes to work. 2 seconds left on the clock. It does survive, but ImperiX takes this round. You can just see these swords cutting through, and these brains just not taking any damage. It does seem like these swords are set to point defense, so if you shoot enough missiles at them, they'll be focused on the missiles and won't shoot at the ships. However, again, ImperiX wins that one. And we've got the man himself, MGW. He has gone with Sentinel, Lizard Gamers twice. There are 2 of each of his subtypes of ships. We've got a tank with annihilators, huge ships, lots of armor. It's gonna do well. We've got some Gauss drone ships. It's supposed to stay back. Still, a lot of armor. They can take a lot of hits. And then we've got the small Rusher plasma bolt ship. We'll see if the mod creator can beat his own mod. Sentinel versus Sentinel. MGW's tanks are multiple times bigger than LBF's tanks. There's going to be a large masking mismatch. But MGW ships are a lot slower. If LBF can just kite, I think they'll be perfectly fine. But in a straight brawl, I am not sure that LBF can take this. And we can see pretty early on that a combination of these faster rushdown ships and the Gauss drones are just taking out all the kiters. MGW takes round 1. Maybe not so surprising, as that he did create this mod, so he knows all the secrets. But we've got a little mosh pit here, everyone brawling it out. LBF just does not have enough armor. It does seem like MGW ships have a little bit of an AI problem. They are not able to maneuver if the ship is directly behind them. With 2 ships remaining, it's not looking good for LBF. And that's that. MGW takes the round. Next up, Plasma Rangers versus Weird Nano Composite Crystalline. Now, Bryce's ships are smaller. They don't have enough armor to like win in a straight brawl versus the Crystalline. However, they are quite agile. So, if they just kind of skirt the edges of the Crystalline's range with their plasma cannons, they might be able to win this. Additionally, it is a 3v5. Jammy only has 3 brawlers. Bryce has 5. I'm not sure how much the missiles on this Crystalline will do, but it doesn't seem like Bryce has any point defense, so it might be a problem for him. But already we can see that if Bryce goes on a 1v1 with these brawlers, he's not going to make it. However, he can escape quite quickly. He's in no real danger right now. Still got all his thrusters, he just thrusts away. It's all good. Except for this one, that one got cored. Not great for Bryce, obviously. He's hanging in there. Looks like one of them is cornered. They're both cornered. It's trying on all sides. They better escape if they want to make it out alive. Does look like he's almost there to the core. Come on, you can do it. But yeah, Terran are remarkably tanky for their size. They can take a lot of hits, especially from something like Crystalline, which does a lot of damage. That's good. Someone is pinging me on Discord. I don't care. The thing about these Crystalline is there's just a slight gap down the middle, and it's only protected by a little bit of armor, so you can see those like shots going right through. If time runs out, but if you can just like get down that crack with the Death Star, Star Wars, you know, if you can do that, he could probably win this. Just needs to get a little lucky. But you can see one of Plasma Rangers has split off to distract the other 4, teaming this one Crystalline. Now these 2 are trapped against the wall, not good for them. But they are hanging in there. They still have plenty of armor, plenty of thrusters. Yeah. This Crystalline is almost there. It just needs a few more hits, a few more taps, and it's gone. Bryce can just take out that one. But yeah, these smaller, lesser armored Plasma Rangers are doing very surprisingly well against these Crystalline giant tanks. The thing about Terran is they do regenerate much faster, so Bryce can just escape, regenerate, and while crystalline are still regenerating. They don't regenerate as fast. You can just come back and take him out. He's almost got one ship. Come on, you can just take out one ship. You can do it. Come on. He's almost, literally, it's just one tap. One tap. All he needs. There we go, we got one. But by now, 4 seconds left. Jammy is 4 times the points. You put up a good fight, Bryce. Now, up against the plasma mortars of Lyolf's Zero Filament. It's not going to be pretty. Terran cores are going to get one shot by these mortars. It does look like the mortars go right through the armor. Not looking great for Bryce. Already 3 ships down, cored without even like touching the armor. So yeah, note to MGW, maybe don't make mortars as good, because they just seemed bad because the AI was not using them correctly. But now that they are using them correctly, they are kind of broken. Probably more powerful than Bolsheviks from Farmer or the heavy turret. So yeah, that is kind of not fair. Fortunately, the front bit of armor is protecting quite a bit. Bryce is surviving just barely, but just not long enough. Lyolf takes that. Now against skill, as long as Bryce does not get close, he has a very good chance against skill. Just needs to stay out of range with the plasma cannons. Stay out of range with the stay out of range. All right. Well, one ship is not nothing. Skill has lost a ship as well. Look at that. Just stay right there. Keep the AI in a lock, and we'll be all good. 2 down, 3 to go. And Bryce, unlike LBF, does have enough point defense to shoot down the drones before they reach critical mass. He's gonna have a good chance in this fight. So as you can see, skill ships, they don't have any thrusters, they can't maneuver. They kind of are stuck if anything happens. But yeah, the drones are very effective when they're working, but not quite now. It does seem like the AI is just staying right outside of effective range. Not sure why. This is allowing skill to just chip away at Bryce's points with drones. Not a great sign, but Bryce is still in the lead. If he just survives for 15 more seconds, 30 points. That's like 2 thrusters. It's going to be very close. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy. Skill takes that by a hair. But hopefully, Bryce can do a little better this time. In theory, he should be able to beat him. But already 1 ship down, and the other ship is a little too close for comfort. Skill still's got 5 ships. Two ships left. Bryce is gonna have a lot of trouble against all those drones. You can see those B drones just very slowly, but surely taking out the outer layers of the armor into the sweet meat of the ship. Very interesting that the AI is choosing to stay at this range, but to reassembly, you gotta know you can't trust AI when you really need it. Bryce slowly being eaten by drones. Not good. Skill wins that one. Now, versus me. I do believe Bryce has a very good chance. He may not have enough point defense to take down the missiles, but he will be able to take down the tanks very quickly. And the kiters are pretty much unarmored. They have a shield, and they go like 4 miles an hour. So he has a good chance. Already, the final tank is going down. He is being battered by missiles. One of the ships not doing well. But it's time to let the fox in the chicken coop. It does seem like one of the children is a tank, so they will have to take that out first. I don't know, maybe in that time, if Bryce uses another ship, he's not going to be able to take out all the missiles. Down to one ship, missiles on all sides. But now it's time for fun. That's one down. Come on, solo squad, you can do it. All his thrusters are gone, he's a sitting duck. He doesn't quite win this round. He does take down a tank very quickly. If he take out the other one in a reasonable amount of time, he will have a good chance against the kiters. Down goes the shield. And cord. Alright, one more tank. Hopefully this will go differently than last time. Like, not hopefully, like, this is my fleet, I kind of want it to win, like. Interestingly enough, he did post it to the Discord, so he could have tested against this fleet. But it is not looking good for Bryce, he's down to one ship. The tank is still alive. And Joyous 18 wins this match. Now up against Yenyu. Yenyu is going to be using hit and run strategies. His lasers are going to be doing a lot of work. Look at that, just burning right through them. The phasers from a distance will do stuff, I guess. You can just see the lasers drill through. Very dangerous, very scary. I mean, it's good for red. Like, look at that. Wow. You see that as well? Do you see that? Look at that. Look at that. That's 2 lasers. Pretty much the same damage as like the plasma swords on ImperiX's ship. Except it's smaller and lighter and just a lot of dangerous. It's very dangerous. Bryce is not doing well. Yenyu is shredding him. And he wins that one. Bryce does not have any splash to deal with the reds. I think if he had like 1 flat cannon on each ship, he would be able to take out these reds very easily. He did get one surrounded. That's that hunter-killer group working in. That's the style. All one ship. Works very well if you can like get the ships to stay together. Generally I find that it works better on like medium speed ships. Not too fast, because if they're too fast they like kind of spaz out all over the place and like don't stay together. If they're just like the right speed, they won't like be too slow to be able to maneuver in tandem, but they'll be fast enough to like target the same target. Yenyu does have double the points. 1 minute left. It might be tricky. His ships do have slightly longer range. Seconds left. You can see those lasers just do a lot of damage. Very maneuverable Reds. Yenyu wins on points. Next up versus Drills. Two Terrans using very similar strategies. Both pretty much mono ship, or like one single ship 5 times. So they will all stick together, kind of probably split off into 1v1s. Drills does have a torpedo ship that will be very good at taking out armor. Looks like the matches have been settled. We're decided. Who will fight who? Looks like 3v1, a 1v3, and a 1v1. We'll see. Drills getting bodied by 3 Plasma Rangers. This Plasma Ranger just does not care about all the plasma shots being lobbed his way. Again, I do believe Drills may have made a mistake in like energy generation, because there is not energy generation for these ships. Plasma Rangers do have the advantage. They just have more damage per second and armor. Drills cannot really skirmish very well against a ship that is very similar. He's got 1 ship left. Bryce has only lost 500 points. And Drills goes down. If those torpedoes can just hit, like that would be, like look, it just took out the front of that ship. Very nice. Alright, looks like Drills being slaughtered just a little bit. Doesn't seem like he can get through that armor. He is using flat cannon, so less damage per second against like good armored ships. But he does also have smaller plasma cannons, which are less range but more P efficient, so I don't know. Might just be the difference in armor. Armor versus shields. This is why you use armors. Bryce does take that. Now Bryce versus Laser Brain. Bryce just needs to stay out of range of those lasers. He does not need to get close. He has a lot more range. And this is exactly what he is not doing. He is being surrounded by ships, circles of lasers. And yes, this is a failure on the AI's part. There's two ships here, surrounded on all sides. They're going to struggle a little bit. It does seem like he's skirting just outside of range. And as soon as I say that, he comes back in range. Very nice. Let's see if the next match goes differently. Theoretically, Bryce will win. He just needs, like, just in the, usually in like the first 5 seconds, all the ships just go straight at each other no matter what. I'm not sure why. Look at that. He's kind of staying away, but not enough. It's getting a little too close with those lasers. Over here, he's having a lot more success. This is what the battle should look like, okay? Just slowly digging through the armor. ImperiX can't do anything because the AI is stupid. It does seem like ImperiX's ship is faster than Bryce, which is not a good thing, because now he's trapped against the wall. He's able to escape, because he has no maneuverable to continue to drill through the ball. And looks like maybe almost. He just needs like one more shot to kill that ship. This is kind of frustrating. But yeah, ImperiX makes very good min-max ships. This is a prime example. I'm not sure if 30 seconds is enough for Bryce to kill the other 4 ships. But yeah, it does seem like these ships kind of have a thruster layout issue. There is a ship directly behind them. They have no idea how to maneuver to reach that ship. And ImperiX wins that one. Nope. Bryce versus MGW. MGW does have much more armor, but I would say Bryce has more firepower. Maybe if you take into account the splash, MGW does have a slight advantage. But in a brawl fest, it is hard to say. The Terran's damage per second or the Sentinel's health. Like, this thing is surviving forever. Look at that. What? Bryce is down 900 points. It seems like one of his ships can solo one of these smaller ships. However, I'm not sure if the same can be said about these large ships. These Terrans are certainly more accurate than the Sentinels. But these larger tanks just have too much armor for LBF to get, for Bryce to get through. Five seconds remaining. if all of Bryce's ships focus down on this ship, they might be able to get it. They're all focusing on this one ship, and that should kill it fast enough for them to like kind of gain an early advantage. But it does seem like Bryce has lost a ship. Not great. He lost another one. These tanks just have too much HP. It is very hard for Bryce to get through the army. Looks like a Gauss drone got him. MGW takes that. Now it is Jammy versus Lyle. Now, Jimmy's space armor, theoretically, it should do very well against the splash of these mortars. However, the mortars are still like hitting 4 or 5 blocks at least. So it is doing like 5 times 100 damage. Looks like every 2 seconds. On the other hand, Jammy does have a little more damage per second. I would say these condensers do like maybe 1,000. And so in a straight 1v1, Jammy would win. However, these factory ships do make copies. So pretty soon, Jammy will be overwhelmed by force numbers. I don't know why I'm focusing on that factory switch door. So see, Lyolf does now have 4, 5, 6, 7 ships. And these missile tanks don't seem to be doing very well. They will not be able to get to the shield. I just said that. Jimmy's still going at it. It does look like Jammy is winning. He's slowly but surely taking out that armor. And for some reason, the Terran decided to regenerate while under fire. Okay. But looks like he made it. Very nice. Congrats, Jammy. Just 400 points off. This could be a very close battle the next time. I think the problem is it is a 3 plus support versus 5, but that 5 quickly becomes 7 when these ships spawn in. So Jammy is being battered on all sides. He does escape. These crystalline are quite fast comparatively. Just 200 points apart. No one has lost any ships yet. But this lone Jammy ship is, these mortar shots are landing very close to the core. Looks like one's gone. But Lyolf just lost one too. The points are almost back to the same. Jammy does have slightly more range, so if it comes down to it, he will be able to kite away. But it's a 2v1, he's not focusing on that. Oh, he is, look, it's almost there. But he just lost that ship. This is the power of factories. Unfortunately for Crystalline, I don't think factories are a viable option because they just don't have any resource storage. Now, as long as Jammy stays out of range of these very dangerous gun blocks, he will be able to out-tank them. He does not have any point defense, so the drones will be building up, but I think that he might be able to take down the blocks before the drones build up, but that is a considerable amount of drones, especially B drones, who do a lot of damage. Not sure how it's going to work out. So yeah, even with an entire block of point defense, you can't even defend against like 5 missiles. So B point defense is still pretty awful. These drones are still dying on impact for some reason. They're not supposed to. Whatever. And it's like a kiter fight because skills ships cannot maneuver, and Jammy's Crystalline do not have any close range weapons. So, an interesting fight, I suppose. Slowly getting through each other's armors. Kind of. But yeah, these B drones, there's no point defense to kill them, so they just dig through very slowly. But Jimmy just doesn't need to charge directly into them. Fire. I'm not sure why it should choose to do that. Reassembly AI will be forever in history. It does seem like since Jimmy ships do not have any dedicated point defense, the ship's AI has to switch between point defense with the main gun and attacking with the main gun, which it just is being distracted everywhere by these drones. So like even one like point defense gun that doesn't need to be effective, it would allow the AI to focus his main gun on that new ship instead of switching back and forth between drones and ships. And again, this battle probably will go similar. The drones build up on the outside, eat their way through. It's generally not a good time for Jammy. There we go. One ship down. 30 seconds left. Down by 1,300 points. Or 1,400 points. Jimmy's missiles, even though the point defense is quite bad on B's, still enough to take down the missiles. Especially just from one ship. From 2 ships, the point defense wasn't doing anything, but one ship, that's enough. Skill is not skill. Wins that match. Next up, Jimmy versus Mulan. His tanks are gonna crush mine in like 4 seconds. Like it's not even a contest. It's just gonna shrug off the missiles because Crystalline are like super tanky and just murder everything. Very nice job by Jammy. As you can see, these little kiters, they can't move at all and they get popped. Very entertaining. So yeah, Jammy has around, I don't know, I would say 2 or 3 times more armor, a lot more damage per second. These missiles have more splash and DPS. Jammy wins that one. Again, this will probably go the same way. While it does seem like the missiles are slowly getting through, it's just not fast enough. Go, you can do it. Shield is down, tank is down, time to pop some kiters. Two left. Quite an easy feat. Very slow kiters versus very fast brawlers. Who's gonna win? Oh. Jammy wins that match. Now Jammy versus Yenyu. This one will be interesting. Because while Jammy does have a lot more brawling power, a lot more armor, Yenyu has the DPS and the speed and he's able to like avoid the shots and the missiles. Maybe? Just in time to like shred through the armor. Yenyu has lost half his points, or one of his ships, not half his points. But he is down 700. It's going to be very hard to recoup from that. But you can see that these slower crystalline missiles aren't able to hit the very agile red. One ship left. Not looking good for Yen. Jammy still has 5 ships. Jammy wins round 1 on points. So you see that laser digging right through, it's almost there, pops it very quickly. So against Jimmy's missile ships, these reds are very dangerous because the reds can just avoid the missiles with very little effort. Points are very even. And you lost a ship. Oh, Jimmy's just about to lose another one. That red's really going at it. But yeah. Then use main ships versus Jimmy's main ships. Jimmy's main ships win. And he just doesn't have enough. InfamousYenyu did take out both of Jammy's missile ships. And Jammy versus Drills. This will be an interesting fight. Drills is going to have a new ability to just slowly whittle down Jimmy. However, Jammy has a lot of armor to get through, and as we've seen before, Drills seems to have an energy issue. Especially when his shield is active, because it seems like his shield just takes up all the energy. So, the thing about Drills was, he did not know we were using a mod. So he sent in his fleet and was like, oh wow, it's over budget. So he asked me to cut down on some plasma cannons. But I think what he was not counting on was, I am almost certain MGW increased the cost of shields, so it's just eating all of his energy. It just does not work like this anymore. And that's obviously not great. It's one of the main reasons I just don't like modded vanilla tournaments, because of some of the it's kind of difficult to make people aware that you're using the mod. And especially if that mod either changes P costs or energy, it kind of messes with everything, you know? So that's kind of the whole point of my MiniShip tournament, to kind of, you don't need mods, but just look at the rules. But just testing out MGW's mod, no one's used it yet. He's put a lot of work into this. Some would say it's just, no one's go burr. But I think he does make some good changes. He hates Tinkerol. Like, he actually hates Tinkerol. It's like, he thinks it's the worst thing ever. And like, from a certain point of view, that is true. Like, it's just super unbalanced, kind of bad. He like completely revamped Tinkerol. I have no idea how to use it. It is very strange. But it does look like Drills, paired alongside his energy issue, is not able to get through all of that crystalline armor, even with being more maneuverable and being able to cycle in and out ships. Down to 2 ships. Jimmy still got all his. Just slammed against the wall, crushed between 2 ships, and shot to death. There we go, Jimmy wins that one. Now Jammy versus ImperiX. The thing about Jimmy's ships are, I am pretty sure they are bigger than the range of these proton swords. So, if Jimmy just sticks his nose at the ship, like so, the protein swords will not reach his core, unless he goes sideways like that, which he's doing right now. Not great. But look, his core is all the way back here. And the beam length is like maybe almost there. I don't know. I don't think so though. But apparently it is working. Jimmy has lost 2 ships already. 3 ships now. The 4th is surrounded and losing parts quickly. ImperiX is doing very well, I would say. It does seem like he does have an energy issue. Not enough energy to fire all the... Nice one, Jimmy. Nice one. Alright. But ImperiX does take that round. But here we go. This is the behavior we want. This is how Jimmy's gonna win. He just sits right out of range and drills through them, just like a LBF or Bryce, just like Bryce. And look at this. His missile ships taking advantage of the poor AI. Not enough thruster variation. But look, here we go again. Here we go again. If Jimmy can just keep this position, like so, he has a good chance. Except there's debris in the ray, and the AI is not happy. But here we go, look. Just need to do that, and he can kill a ship. That's 500 points. If he gets 500 points, he might be able to win this. And look, he's healing right now. He's gonna be okay. And these ships are just... it's dead ship. It's a dead ship. Okay. Yeah, almost there. Okay, look. The points are like very even. It is going to be close. Very close. Jimmy just needs to take out that right there. Just need to hit it with a missile. Very close. ImperiX wins by a hair. And up against MGW. 2 of the tankiest factions against each other, both pretty decently sized ships. Nice little mosh pit right here. I will say that because Jimmy is using spaced armor, the splash is not as effective against him. And his condensers, great direct damage, great for taking out the Sentinel. MGW does seem to have the advantage. Able to easily take down these smaller rushdown craft. It does seem like his missile kiter can also take down these rushdown craft, which is one of the main reasons you would ever have an armored kiter. But it looks like I was wrong. MGW somehow came back from that. He was outnumbered, and he somehow took out the... what? How? Seconds left. Jimmy needs to kill this ship to win, I think. on, Jimmy, you can do it. MGW wins that one. Surprisingly, interesting. Very nice mosh pit. Bunch of ships just slugging it out. This is why we play Reassembly. So I'm pretty sure what happened was a stray shot went straight down the middle and bonked him in the head. That is the only reason I can think that Jimmy would lose. But this battle is going somewhat differently. It seems like that's what happened right here. Stray shot went down the middle, bonked him. So if that happens again here, Jimmy is not gonna have a good chance. Now the points are pretty even, and he is winning all his current battles. This kiter is about to go down. These guys not doing well. The kiter is trapped. All he needs to do is kill it. Just kill it. And his missile ships, they do have a little bit more armor in front of their core. I think they'll probably do better against the tanks. Jimmy is winning, just by a teeny bit. 10 seconds left, if he can just hang in there. Whew. That was a close one. Deciding battle. That little rush down and going right in the middle of all the brawlers. Not a great idea. But his armor is holding up for a little bit. So it does seem like MGW's missiles don't do anything. His Gauss drones, not enough damage per second. And the ship is surrounded. This missile ship should be able to survive just a little bit longer than his brawlers because of that tiny piece right there, and his core is further offset. I'm not really sure why Jimmy's core is like right in the middle of the ship. Frontline brawler that goes forward. Kind of odd, but anyways. Very nice. Very nice. Now it is confirmed that one of these ships can kill one of these ships. So Jimmy is winning here. He's not going to be winning here, most likely. But he is going to be winning here. He is up 300 points. Unless MGW can get a lucky shot down there, it's going to be very close. 4 seconds left. Jimmy wins that one. Now we have Lyolf versus Skill. Lyolf's splash is going to give him a huge advantage against Skill. I'll say that. However, Skill does have the damage second to rip through this one. But just not enough damage per second apparently. You see this ship's almost destroyed. Just the B point defense. if it was not on point defense, I think maybe it would be more concentrated. He is able to take down one of Lyle's ships. But you see, like, this ship is like right next to him. He's not shooting at him. Point defense is distracted. Same right here. Maybe a drone could sneak in there. But as soon as like one of these blocks go down, the path to the core will be open for a splash to kill it. One ship left. Lyolf wins round 1. The generic red squares cannot beat Azure Filament. I think it's just all about positioning. If like this ship is just going in, taking flak of all 5 of the ships, I do believe it will die. And now these 3 on 1, going like right at the same angle, so it's piercing a little bit better compared to these 2 against this guy. They both at different angles, so they're not working together. Drones taken out. It is much closer this time. Lyle's factory ships do not have point defense, so they are very vulnerable against these drones. Very much in favor of, well, not very much in favor of, but it is in favor of skill this time. Just barely. DPS seems more focused here. But one hit right in this corner right here to take out the core. Or not. Looks like it's just outside. Very lucky for it, still. Survived just a little bit longer. Unfortunately, it is not great because skill has spawned more ships. It's down to 2v2. If they just keep missing like this, skill is going to take the round. But that doesn't seem to be the point. Skill is running right into the mortar blasts. But he does win it. Very close. Whoa. I would say in a 1v1, I think skill ships would win. But as soon as the point defense gets scattered and distracted, skill's not going to make it. And especially like this, where skill's all alone being taken out one by one because he can't maneuver, it's just not a good situation for him. Final 2 ships on skill. You might be able to take out one last ship, but running right out of range. Five seconds remaining, 1 ship left. Azure Filament by Lyolf wins. Not Lyolf versus me. Even though his ships are slow, my kiters are slower. he's gonna take out these little guys very quickly. Very sad to see my old fleet get ripped to shreds. Look, they're so slow they can't even dodge mortar shots. How sad is that? Hey, all the kiters are still alive. They are doing a lot of damage. I think I got a good chance at this. What are Lyle's other ships doing? What are they? What? Just sitting there. Are these the children? I know there's a problem with factory-built children. But yeah. Just being blasted. One ship remaining. Not looking good. Lyolf wins round 1. The tanks are surviving a little bit longer this time, which is allowing the missile kiters to do a little bit more damage. But still, they're not going to survive. One last one. GG, Lyolf. Lyolf versus Yenyu. As I said like an hour ago, Red do not like splash. These are the splashiest things you can get, okay? So, Yenyu is not going to have a good time here. However, these ships are very fast. They can dodge the splashiest splash of splash. Kind of. Sometimes. As you can see, one hit from the mortar is instant death. And Yenyu is not going to be able to stay close enough to these mortar shots to be able to use his lasers and kill a ship. Three ships remaining. All of them can be one hit. Not looking great. Yenyu. 3 seconds left. Just survives, but dies to the time. Lyolf wins out. So, Yenyu ships are dodging the blast. The problem is, when these shots reach the end of the lifetime, they explode, and the AI does not know how to account for that, so they like just dodge a little bit to the side, as little as possible, and then when the explosion comes, they're not prepared for it. Like, it doesn't actually hit them, but at the end of the lifetime, it explodes and it catches them in the blast. I think if the AI was able to like predict that, Yenyu's ships would have a much better time. One ship remaining, not looking great. Trapped. Bonk. Nope. Lyolf versus Drills. Now, Drills has shields, and these shields are a little bit better, okay? His ships will kite. They do have skirmish behavior. And they're not going to be able to take down these shields very easily. Now, as we've seen before, Drills is going to have a tough time taking down the shields as well. He's going to be taking hits. His shields are going to be sucking up the energy. Looks like he's already lost a ship. 2 ships. Not great. Not great. Yep. Sucking up the energy. Shield is gone. Looks like he got popped actually. Which is a problem. So in case you don't know, shield popping is when a shield takes so much damage that the rest of the damage that goes over the shield is directed into the shield itself, or the shield block itself. So let's say the shield has, I don't know what it has here, like 2,000 health, and then the block itself has 500. So if something does like, let's say the shield is like whittled down to like 100, and like 5 mortar shots hit it at the same time. That's like 600 damage in one frame. 100 gets absorbed by the shield, and the rest goes into the block destroying it. So like, if you base your structure off of a shield, and that shield gets popped, everything connected to that shield will get disconnected. And that's just like building tips for you. Don't connect things to shields, because that could happen. Now, I used to do this all the time. It was hilarious. I would put a farmer shield and like stick a bunch of missiles on it. So then, like, if the shield got like popped at all the missiles would just fall off. And since my thrusters were also attached to the shield, the whole ship would just basically implode. Not a great time, but you know, now I know better. But looks like this ship got hit by a torpedo, but it's like barely damaged. Why is that? I don't know. But yeah, unfortunate for Drills, he didn't see that we're using the mod and couldn't work around it. I'm not sure, that might not be the only problem, because he's using these plasma cannons here, and the shield can't like be using that much energy. Fortunately for Drills, he still has all his shields up, all his ships still alive. So pretty lucky for him so far. He is slightly leading on points. He could win this round. Just needs to survive 20 seconds. 20 seconds, 40 points. If Lyolf can just do 40 points versus of damage, damage on the shields. Looks like he did. And Lyolf takes the match. Now, Lyolf versus ImperiX. This will be interesting. The containers are going to be hard to get through. However, I don't think, similar to ImperiX's match with Jammy, I don't think the lasers will be able to reach through the center. I mean, I did say that during Jammy's match, and then like the lasers did reach the center, so like I could be wrong. But Lyle does have factories. If like ImperiX is literally using factory like resource container blocks, he could like a factory and do very well because that's like infinite a lot. It's just good. I'm not sure why he's not using it. It's very strange. Lyolf is winning slightly on points. It looks like I am not really sure. The gun is not shooting. It's alive, but not shooting. Oh, because it's point defense. It's on point defense. So it is distracted by this. So once a weapon has like locked onto a target for point defense, it's not gonna unlock until it's very far away. Unlike like a normal weapon, you'll just shoot at the closest enemy ship if they're all the same P. But since they're on point defense, that is not the case. So yeah, that is kind of scary. These mortars are killing Imperialx. Look at that. Your Firmament wins round 1. Now imagine if these mortars would combine with like a shield breaking weapon, like a mortar and a plasma cannon. That would do a lot of damage. Lyolf is winning. Around 750 points. 15 seconds left. ImperiX's ships are AI duds. Not doing too well. The laser brain apparently does not have a brain. There we go. We should be around halfway through the tournament now. Lyolf versus MGW. I do believe Lyolf has beat everyone he's encountered so far. MGW will be the last stand against the plasma mortar of the Terrans. Unfortunately, I don't think he has enough damage per second to get through those Terran shields. He is going to be also outnumbered. He did not bring any factories. Yikes. Interestingly enough, they shoot the same colored bullets. How odd. Yep, MGW. Not doing well. Down by half. Lyle wins round 1. I think the person who has done the best so far is Lyle. His skill with his bees. Maybe Jammy might have won a match. I'm not sure, I don't remember. Maybe it was Bryce instead. But yeah, Lyle has been dominating with these plasma mortars. That's the thing about these like first tournaments if you're trying out a new mod. Is the person who wins is just the person who finds the most broken thing in the mod. So like for example, the last 2 tournaments, my rules were kind of funky. People submitted disgusting things. And they won because I did not think that people would make that my rules. So like a swarm of like 20,000 P versus 20,000 P of jellyfish. Like no one came close to beating that. Actually, wait. In the first tournament, Cookie Creeper almost beat that. In the second one, I do believe it was Lyolf as well, who just decided that my rules. So it's my bad. I kind of let people use asteroids and not have an acceleration requirement. So that was just like a giant asteroid versus ships. Guess who won? That's right, the asteroid. And here it looks like MGW kind of made mortars very strong. He did mention this to me, like through DM, that plasma mortars are pretty good, and he was thinking about using them. I'm not sure why he used Sentinel instead. I guess he just wanted to try it out. And yeah, these squishy farmers are being squished by bees. Unfortunately, they cannot move to kill the kiters. Fortunately, I forgot that these things... Oh no, I have point defense, haha. But skill also has point defense. And it is better against farmer missiles, because farmer missiles are very weak. So yeah, that's nice. I think this is just gonna be the same. Something died. I missed that. My bad. Okay, yeah, they're not gonna get through. I think that was a fluke. Okay, very slowly the missiles are getting through. Hey, that's pretty funny. He's carrying his baby in his mouth, straight into the heat of battle. And goodbye. This guy's very close to death. That was funny. There we go. So as long as skill has 5 ships, maybe if he uses all the drones on one kiter, it will overwhelm the point defense. Perhaps. Let's see what happens. Nope, farmer point defense is very strong. Not gonna happen. So the question is, can these missiles get through the point defense? I'm gonna bet no. Yeah, I was correct. This is a very fun fight. Alright, there we go. Skill wins that one. Now, as long as all the kiters stay back, they'll be fine. This guy is not staying back. And if all these missiles focus on one ship, I think that I might win this. However, I'm down 500 points. So it's gonna have to focus very well. And I'm not sure about that. It's not gonna happen. It did get through last time. Whoa. Still, that point defense is kind of disappointing. Not great. Not great at all. Just gonna slowly whittle down, get through his point defense. Very slowly, but very steadily. Like 1 in every 10 missiles hits. But as more of his point defense goes away, more missiles start to hit. It starts going downhill from there. Whoa, what was that? There we go. Skill is indeed not skill. Now this will be an interesting fight. Skill's got the advantage. His point defense is proximity. It goes near a red ship, it explodes. Reds don't like splash, etc., etc. And these drones are very scary. Wow. Yeah, it seems like even with a very experienced tournament builder with Reds, Reds in this tournament are just not quite at the level they need to be. Maybe at higher P they would just like wreck Tempest. We all know Tempests do very well. And the tournament's budget is just not enough for a Tempest. Well, very nice drones. Interesting. I think drills will kite, which he's not doing currently, because everything I say, the opposite happens. Such is the life of a tournament host. But the drones are being able to get through his shields. Not going to be good for drills. His bias are not happy. Yeah, that's kind of scary. It seems like once he runs out of energy, he just stops shooting missiles. I'm not sure what the problem is. And he goes right into the fire. I'm not sure why. Thank you very much. Looks like it went the same way as last time. Drones just eat the enemy. Interesting. Two very non-maneuverable ships against each other. I would say the ImperiX has more damage and more armor. It seems like I am correct. Interesting. Skill is almost about to beat one. Took down its weapons. However, ImperiX still has all 5 of his ships. Skill's down to 1. But look, it looks like maybe he could do it. I kind of think the drones would be helping a lot. Those swords are not fantastic point defense, especially if they're distracted on the ship. Interesting. ImperiX takes that one. And those swords really kind of mess with those drones if they're locked on. So it does look like if Skill takes out those proton swords first, if he comes at like just the right angle and shoots at the proton swords, then he has a good chance. Let's see. Look, he's taking out one of the swords. So like these drones are eating through the armor. Very nice. He got one. Yeah, you can see like right here and right here where the proton swords are supposed to be. The bullets are coming in from that direction, destroying the swords. And the drones take care of the rest. Very nice. I am not sure. Oh, going through the back. The back door. Very nice. And Skill finishes it. We'll see if we can do it again. Looks like the laser brains are coming in one at a time, taking their turns. And the lasers are gone for that one. And it's gonna be easy prey for the drones, except it's spinning. Which is kind of not good. ImperiX stuck on some debris. And distracted. This one drone might be able to do it. Just this one drone. Just get in there and do the deed. He does do the deed. it's just a matter of killing one more ship. He could just do one more ship. But distracted, reinforcements come. ImperiX takes out one of the ships. 4v1. Not sure how it's gonna go. Let's have a party. 20 seconds remaining. It's gonna be tricky. Look, all these drones are gonna pool, and then they're just gonna immediately move on to the next target, already at critical mass. Fortunately, he's destroyed thrusters, and ImperiX is spinning. That's the end of that. Skill versus MGW. I think it will go very similarly to skill versus Lyolf. The splash is just gonna wreck stuff, but if skill can just get in at that right angle, he's gonna win. Maybe not though. Sentinel do have a lot more armor. It's like the drones are doing work, but AI is not doing skill any favors. Although it's not doing MGW any favors either. It's just kind of a standstill. The drones slowly eating through the ships. Kind of. But MGW is ahead by around 800 points. Wizard Gamers twice. Takes round 1. Looks like they're almost through taking care of one of the tanks. They got one of them. It gives skill a huge advantage. It does seem like these ships do not have great point defense. They just have the plasma bolts. Those are kind of terrible as point defense. They're better as main weapons, even though they're primarily their default is point defense. But they're better at main weapons. Funnily enough, the missiles, which default is main attack, is better at point defense. It's a very fun fact for you to know. Going in the back. Oh, he's playing that. Oh. Skill is taking this one. It's almost 3 times the amount of points. And there we go. I think this is a much harder situation for a skill to win. One of the ships is almost dead. And MGW, I don't know, the bolts are hitting. He did get one, but just barely. And the drones are slowly digging through. There is an open path, with just one drone sneaking in there. He could do it. Regenerated. It's gonna be a close one. I think if Skill had like put a little more effort into like maneuverability, he would be able to like just use his main weapons to finish off these guys. Like, his drones are doing good, but if you're gonna have some guns, I think you should have some thrusters. If you're gonna have drones, you don't really need thrusters, just a ball. Skill is currently in the lead. MGW is having some technical difficulties. I just honestly hate this bug, where it's not even close. Why are you sitting there? And that's that. Now it is me versus Yenyu. Splash bad for reds, but lasers bad for farmers. That's what I'll say. Splash, very bad for reds. But here, Yenyu's ships are being way more aggressive. They just... Alright, sorry I had to pause for a bit. And we're back. Yenyu got blown up by a missile. Yeah. He was more aggressive this time. He took out a lot of kiters. But... And honestly, he could kill both. But he's run out of time. Now me versus Drills. Drills is definitely fast enough to catch up to the kiters. He has enough damage. The only problem is, again, his energy issue. I don't think it should be much of a problem. The guns on the tanks are not great. He can just kill everything without much of trouble. Except, it looks like because he has energy issues, he cannot shoot back at the kiters. He just meleeed them. That's lit. Alright. Does kind of look like a standstill as Drills' shield like sucks up all the energy. Yeah, look at the document from MGW. because that is odd that he would change the energy usage. Let's see this. It does look like Drill will win this round. There we go. Hammer Time wins. Let's see here. Looks like Shield's energy uses has been doubled, but also their regeneration. So interesting. Kind of broke Drill's submission, but I don't know. But Drills is not doing as well this time. He was not able to use his energy to blitz all the kiters. And he's stuck on the tanks. I kind of do agree with the change though, because it does make shields a lot more useful, and it does prevent like shields on very fast ships that would just run away and just won't be able to take damage, because nothing would hit them, and anything would be instantly absorbed by the shield. So it is a buff to small ships with shields. I mean, a nerf to small ships with shields, but just a buff in general to larger ships with shields. Yeah, that kind of sucks. And looks like I take that second round. Yeah, if Drills can't shoot, he can't win. And the point defense lasers. Oh, there we go. He's dead. Yeah. So he can take out a few of them. As long as they still have energy. It is weird though. Let's see. 3,000 divided by that would be like 15. Like 10 seconds. So after 10 seconds, he should have enough energy. I guess if he's constantly shooting, it's not going to regen as fast. But still doesn't. I don't understand why he's not firing the missiles. Is there like corruption or something? Shouldn't be, huh? Interesting. Drills is down in points again. He's gonna have to switch targets pretty fast if he's gonna want to win this. Can't switch fast enough. Now me versus ImperiX. I think we know. Actually, here we go. Missile kiters will kite. Oh no, they're way too slow to kite. Never mind. Ah, look, they're charging in. That's amazing. True bravery. Laser brain brains me. I will say though, these proton swords are pretty good at point defense. There we go. This battle will probably go pretty similarly. The Gauss drones would be especially lethal against these very weak guiders, and the tanks are going to go down pretty quickly. Looks like some missiles did take out one of the rushdown. But here come the drones. Well, after this thing goes down. There does seem to be plenty of AI derp, which is unfortunate, but not going to affect MGW's chances here. There we go, on to round 2. Again, looks like missiles are taking out one of these littler guys. So here's an interesting fact. When something with an explosive property is destroyed by an explosive, the thing that destroyed it overrides the explosion. So you see how these missiles, they usually have a huge explosion radius, but when they're hit by like these bolts, they just have the small one, see? The tiny one. So this is pretty much the reason why generators don't chain react anymore. They used to chain react. I'm not sure when it changed to this. But now when the generators explode, the thing is overridden. It's like these missiles don't explode big when they're hit by point defense. And yeah, that's the thing. I think Yenyu versus Drills is gonna be crippled by his energy problem. If like Drills can like just get his flat cannon just a little bit onto the target, then he would like probably instantly kill Yenyu ships. The problem is that Yenyu does have those lasers that just burst down the shield very quickly. There we go. Very, very dangerous lasers. And you can see, like, as soon as the shield goes down, he suddenly has enough energy to fire his flak, which does do damage, but it seems like it's not enough to break the locks. Last one on drills. There we go. Yenyu wins round 1. Oh my goodness. Whoops. Drills did get his missiles off onto Yenyu this time, so I think that was the deciding factor. There we go, hammer time for the win. Looks like Yenyu has a slight advantage. Yikes, double teamed. There we go. Yenyu takes the match. Yenyu versus ImperiX. Okay, so ImperiX does not have the speed to catch up with Yenyu, but if Yenyu just like gets close, he's gonna die. And pretty much that happens. Pretty much, I think red lasers have like double the range. I'm not 100% sure, but they do have enough range to stay out of range of the swords and just kill ImperiX, which is pretty cool. Unless he gets distracted, then he just gets whacked. But you see like how steady the VTOL thrusters on the red make it. But looks like not this time. Maybe we'll take it next time. Dang, the recoil on those phasers is a lot. Already 2 ships down. Yenyu's just gotta keep his position just like that. Not get any closer. Might be tricky. So these phasers do a lot more damage now. Like, it looks like they're able to take out the containers pretty easily. But 1 ship left, about to get back into the wall. It's not looking good. Laser Brain takes the match. Yenyu versus MGW. Sentinel are pretty splashy. The Gostroms are going to do a lot of work. Reds are just not great in this mod just yet. that was a Gauss drone that took it out. And again, actually, yeah, look at these drones. Those flashes of blue light. Deadly, deadly. Oh, he's dead. There we go, and GW takes it. Drills versus ImperiX. Drills does have that torpedo boat. That's going to do a lot of damage. Not sure how effective it will be against the protein sword point defense, but if Drills gets cornered like this every time, it's not going to end well. Fortunately for him, I would say because like pretty much once the protein sword gets a beat on Drills, he's not going to make it. So he either kills ImperiX or he dies. Kind of no other options. Unfortunately, he seems to like going into the laser sword range, so I'm not sure what's up with that. That's interesting. Let's see. Is Drill's going to start shooting? He's been more than 10 seconds. His energy should be recharged. There we go. But yeah, that's just as soon as the laser locks on, he has to. Yeah. Damn. And versus MGW. The Gauss drones are going to burst down the shields, or otherwise just make drills run out of energy. No, I'm recording that. Why do you have to do this?
It literally says, I never put the sign up.
Whoa, what was that? That was interesting. Haunted game. Yeah, very scary. very nice AI. It does seem like MGW ship do have a little bit of butt ship, but Sentinel are they have enough armor, so it doesn't matter actually. Alright, there goes those drones. Yeah, those Gauss drones are deadly. You know what? I think MGW's butt ship behavior might be intentional, because at closer range it butt ships and the guns will move front, but when it needs to move forward it turns around, so like it more evenly distributes the damage. I'm not sure, that's the only reason I would think to add thrusters in the back like that. Kind of a funny, not quite a spinner. And there we go, Lizard Gamers twice by MGW wins. Now, let's see if ImperiX ties with MGW. If ImperiX can beat him, he'll get second place. If MGW wins, I think they tie. It does look like ImperiX has a slight advantage. He has lost one of his guns here. Just one more hit right on that spot and his ship is crippled. And AI is messing with ImperiX, so he's not going to be able to do that. But overall, most of the brains had no trouble taking care of the Lizard Gamers. But yeah, that's 2 ships versus 1, and that's kind of unfortunate. Alright. 4v1. Looks like the loss of his fellow brain was enough to spur this one into action. And that's that. And that's it. And ImperiX takes that. Take a screenshot of this. Thanks for everyone who submitted. It was pretty great. Let me know what you think of the mod, and let MGW know too, because it was interesting. I think it's definitely could use some polish, but I might start like a secondary series, tournament series with like a bigger budget. I kind of do like my MiniShip tournaments to have just no mods, maybe like a factory mod, but other than that, yeah. Well, see you guys next time.